Corrupt cops are infamous for deceptive tactics and targeting individuals lacking knowledge of their rights. What occurs when they cross paths with people thoroughly knowing the law? Witness these 4 astounding cases where lawyers dismantle corrupt cops.
You can ask for my identification. I am not legally required to give it to you.
Except that you...
No, I'm not. My attorney has told me so.
I don't care what your attorney told you. You have to identify yourself because we're
my rights
investigating a
are
possible
important to me. My rights are important to me.
Beginning with Assistant District Attorney Kenneth Grant, who in March 2019 was parked in his truck in front of a residence when a Blanchard police officer approached him.
How's it going, man? You live over here, or what's we doing over here? I've had a couple people call in on you.
Okay. Am I doing something illegal?
Well, no, they're just calling on you saying that I don't recognize the truck in the area. So, my duty to check and see if you live over here or what's going on.
I live over here. I'm here for a purpose.
Okay. All right. You working? You see you got a ladder in the back. You working somewhere?
Yes, sir.
You got a driver's license on you just so I can identify you?
Have I done something illegal?
Well, I like to identify you, just know who I'm dealing with, make sure.
Fourth Amendment right now to show that to you.
Well, if I'm making contact with you for a reasonable suspicion call like I am right now.
Being suspicious is a misdemeanor or felony.
Okay. Well, sir, here's the deal. I was called on you, okay? For a suspicious vehicle, you said yourself you don't live over here, you have a purpose. What's your purpose? Is the purpose legal or illegal?
That's for you to determine that.
Okay. So for me to determine that, I need to see your ID.
How is my ID going to determine whether I'm...
Well, it helps let you know who I'm dealing with. Let you know who I'm dealing with.
But my name doesn't tell you whether I'm...
Yeah, well, tell me, like, if I don't know if you belong over here. You said you don't, so I don't know if someone over here's got a VPO or something against you, and if you got your ID
Did
or
I
something.
say I didn't belong over here?
You said you had purpose.
I don't live over here.
Okay.
Okay. I do belong
Okay.
here.
All right.
So, that's as far as I'm willing to take it.
So you're not willing to give me your ID?
I don't have any reason to.
Okay.
The officer informs him that the police received several calls from people who found his truck suspicious and then requests his driver's license. Grant, who had come to inspect a roof, declines to show his ID, stating that he wasn't driving. However, this doesn't prevent the officer from posing more absurd questions.
If you're not from here, I'm not sure if you are or not, because I don't know who you are. Okay.
My plate's right back there. I'm sure you can run it.
Yeah. Okay. So is that how you want me to identify you, through your plate?
If that's what you have.
Are you the owner of the vehicle?
Do you suspect that I'm not?
I have no reason to believe you are.
Well, I'm sitting in a truck in front of the house, waiting.
For what?
Right here.
Okay.
That's none of your business.
It is my business.
No, it's not. Why is it your business?
Because I want to make sure you're not going to break into these houses or anything like that.
Do I look
I don't know. You have a ladder.
The officer and Grant engage in a back and forth discussion for a few more minutes. Despite the officer's persistence, Grant, aware of his rights, refuses to answer any of the questions. When the officer realizes that Grant won't cooperate, he decides to run the license plate, leading to the escalation of the situation.
Information that you needed, you can ask them to go ahead and run me through NCIC or...
Do you have a date of birth then? Because I have to run it with a name and date of birth.
I'm not going to answer that question.
So you're telling me how I should do my job, yet you're not allowing me to do my job.
I'm standing up for my rights.
And I understand that, like I said.
I haven't done anything wrong.
I'm doing my job,
Okay,
conducting an investigation.
I haven't committed a crime. I'm sitting here in front of a house, which is perfectly legal.
Well, you're not completely on the roadway there, sir.
Okay, has anybody asked me to move?
Do they have to ask you to move? It's private property?
Okay, but there's also a public easement right here.
Oh, this is a public, because this is the city of Blanchard Road, so it's a public easement?
No, the side of the road is.
Oh, because this is the city of Blanchard Road, so therefore make it city easement of city road, right?
What are you trying to accomplish?
What I'm trying to, all I want to do, sir, is identify you. Okay.
Okay, I haven't done anything illegal.
Okay. Well, then
You understand that by not identifying yourself appropriately as requested by the officer is illegal.
It's obstruction.
That's a secondary charge, okay? I have to be, for you to ID me in the state of Oklahoma, okay, I have to be suspected of committing a crime, about to commit a crime.
Well, you are committing a crime, you're trespassing.
Has anybody told me to leave?
Somebody has called in that you're shut up. Somebody has called
First off,
in.
you don't tell me to shut up.
I'll tell you what I want to tell you.
Okay, you're not going to tell me to shut up. I'm
Somebody called us
47,
in.
48,
I don't care
48.
how old you are.
you're not going to sit there and tell me to shut up.
It's evident that
Grant's lack
Grants
of
wasn't
cooperation
trespassing,
didn't
yet
align
it
with the
became
officer's
clear
attempt
that the
to find a
officers were
reason for him to
determined
show
to
his
find
ID.
any reason to make him show his
Frustrated by
ID.
Grant's
Seeing that
refusal,
Grants
one of
wouldn't
the
give in,
officers
one of the
decided to take
officers
drastic
decided to
measures,
prove
leading
that they
to a
were right
shocking
to
turn
stop
of
him.
events.
What followed?
Hey, Travis.
Hey, what's up, man?
Nothing. Sorry to bother you. I got a random question for you, though. I'm dealing with something right now.
Yeah.
So I got called out to an address out here in Blanchard, Summer Valley Road, for a suspicious vehicle, and gentleman's parked in a black pickup. He's from Oklahoma City, but he won't give me his name and tells me he doesn't have to give me his driver's license because he's not done anything wrong.
He's driving a vehicle?
Well, he's parked right now.
Oh, okay. Well,
But-
technically, there's no obligation for him to identify himself. I mean, unless you've got reasonable suspicion that he's committing a crime.
Well, the thing is I have no reasonable suspicion to believe that he's not committing crime because he has a ladder in the back of the truck and he's in front of houses that aren't occupied right now.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, there's no compelled ID statute in Oklahoma. I have to think about. I mean, do you have anything else to suggest that he might be involved in something illicit?
Well, I'm curious why a man from Oklahoma City is parked on a dead-end road in Blanchard, and he has no. I ask him if he lives here, and he says I don't answer questions.
Okay. Yeah. So.
He asked if he was free to leave, and I said no at this time. I have my emergency equipment activated, and I'm trying to investigate.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you're going to drive away, absolutely, you can make enough. You can have, or he's driving and he's operating a motor vehicle, but you don't have a traffic violation at that point.
Well, I follow him out of town until I get one.
Yeah.
Upon realizing his mistake and getting clarification from the district attorney, the officer, undeterred, vowed to continue following Grant with the intention of finding any reason to stop him. This determination to press charges against Grant for merely asserting his rights is a concerning and alarming behavior by the officer.
It is a little unusual, but it's not necessarily evidence that he's criminal activity.
Yeah. Unless I can prove that he's taking pictures he shouldn't be taking next to people's houses.
Yeah, but I mean, there's no crime in that either. I mean, shoot, people do that all the time.
But I meant like shooting into the house where naked people are naked.
Yeah,
and
like
whatnot.
Tom stuff.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you.
So.
Okay, man.
All right.
Let me know if it develops further, all right?
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.
Shortly after, additional police officers arrived at the location, and their approach was notably less patient than that of their colleagues.
Listen to you. I'm here to tell you what's going on. Okay? I don't care if you record me.
We
I don't
are ours
care.
are recorded
Okay?
too.
You're obstructing an officer from doing his duty. So now you're under arrest. Unless you want to cooperate. Okay? That's legal. Have a nice day.
Would you like to explain the address and the time on the folder inside your vehicle with the camera?
I don't answer questions.
Okay.
Look,
You didn't
man.
identify yourself.
I don't answer questions.
Look, man.
You didn't ask a question, hey.
Can you please take your hands out of your pockets for me? Thank you.
Look, all I'm trying to do, man, if you're PI, no big deal. We'll get out of here. We gotta confirm who you are. Make sure, especially with the camera car, make sure you're not doing peep and Tom stuff. Okay?
Not a PI. So the only thing you can have a camera for is if you're a PI.
No, that's not what I'm saying, sir.
Insurance adjusters aren't allowed to have
Are you
a
an
camera
insurance adjuster?
to take photographs of damage and stuff.
Are you an insurance adjuster?
I possibly might be.
Okay. Do you have any proof of that?
Okay, but I mean,
I'm
why
just
do I have to
saying.
answer questions?
I'm
I'm
just-
here for a legal reason.
Wait, not a call.
I'm
Can I
not. I'm
get
just
your
not
date of
answering
birth?
questions.
Can I get your date of birth?
You're failing to
I don't
identify
have
yourself.
to by law.
You
I
are
have the
failing-
Fifth Amendment right
You are failing to
to
identify
answer
yourself.
questions.
You
What
have to
law have I
identify
broke this?
yourself.
What law have I broke this to identify
Is there anybody
myself?
at this house? Let's see if there's anybody at this house.
What law have I done?
Turn around, put your hand right back for a second. You need to place investigative detention, okay?
To that neighbor right there. He has the garage door to let me into the house so I can get a photograph of the inside of that garage door.
That's all you had to say from the beginning, man.
I don't have to tell you that. Don't you guys understand what my rights are?
Nobody said you have to tell us that. What we said is that you have to identify
I
yourself.
do not.
You
I
do
haven't
have to
broken a
identify
crime.
yourself. But we are here investigating whether or not you have. We have reason
You
to
have
believe.
every right
Listen
to
to me.
investigate.
Stop interrupting. You asked for my respect. I'm asking for yours in return. Okay? We are investigating because somebody called a suspicious vehicle and person in that vehicle. Okay? I'm not done talking. Within that investigation, we can identify you by getting your identification. You are required because we are investigating that you may be committing a crime And therefore, you must identify yourself.
What crime?
Trespassing.
Okay.
That's number one.
Okay, sir.
To be trespassed, I
Keeping
have to be
time
asked to
for
leave.
all we know. Okay,
And that's
for all
for
we
you guys
know.
to determine.
That's right. And
That's
in doing that,
part
we
of
have
your
to identify it.
investigation. No, you don't.
Yeah, we do.
No. You can ask for my identification. I am not legally required to give it to you.
Except that you.
No, I'm not. My attorney has told me so.
I don't care what your attorney told you. You have to
I do.
identify yourself because we're
My
investigating
rights
a
are
possible
important to me.
crime.
My rights are important to me.
A possible crime is being investigated.
Okay, what crime?
I just told you two.
Okay, if then arrest me for those two crimes.
We're investigating that. We haven't determined that you've committed those crimes.
I haven't committed
However,
any crime.
we have to identify you.
No, you don't.
Shortly after, Grant was released without facing any further consequences, as it became evident that he had not committed any crime. However, instances of corrupt cops being confronted by lawyers who assert their rights don't end there, as exemplified by the case of Emmanuel Orwell.
I'm a lawyer. I know my rights.
Okay.
I'm not violating any law. I'm on my property. There's no suspicion. No one called anybody. So don't run my ID.
Emmanuel Orwell, a civil rights attorney in Westerville, found himself in a situation on July 10, 2021, as he was disposing of trash into a bin he owned when two Westerville police officers pulled in behind him.
All right.
I'll
Huh?
show you my ID.
If you don't mind, just so, yeah, if you don't mind, can we see your ID?
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Well, that is pretty cool. That's a slick business card.
Yep.
All right. I'll give it to him. You can keep doing what you're doing. We're just, again, we're kind of concerned. Yeah, seeing somebody dump a bunch of stuff there. So, okay.
Can I have it back? No, don't run it.
Oh.
Don't, have to, don't run my card. Don't run my ID.
Huh?
Don't run my ID.
Don't run your ID?
You have no reason to.
As the interaction begins, both parties appear to be cordial and respectful. However, things take a turn when one officer hands the ID to the other officer to run a check, and Orwell asserts his rights, leading to a tense situation.
Just mark it down. We're going to take down your information.
Nope. I'm on my property, putting trash in my trash
Okay,
can.
but this is not just your property. It's several people's property.
I understand.
Okay.
But I'm not violating any law. So don't
No
run
one
my
said that
ID.
you're violating any law.
No. Don't run my ID. I'm a lawyer. I know my rights.
Okay.
I'm not violating any law. I'm on my property. There's no suspicion. No one called anybody. So don't run my ID. I only identify myself so that this won't escalate.
That's fine, but we can still mark down who we're out with, and so that's what we're going to do.
No.
Yes.
You didn't stop me. Don't turn this into an issue.
Sir, you are turning this into an issue. We're just simply marking down who we're out with.
Yeah.
So he's just going to write it down on a piece of
Oh,
paper.
it's just your name.
Why?
Because, sir, we are out with you because we were concerned that you were illegally dumping.
But you've already discovered. Do you want me to show you my office?
I understand that you're here, but I don't know if this dumpster belongs to you or somebody else in the
It belongs
complex.
to me.
To you and you alone.
Yes.
Can you prove that that dumpster belongs to you and you alone?
Orwell was steadfast in his refusal to allow the police to run his ID, a decision well within his rights, particularly as he emphasized not being lawfully detained. In these situations, where racial profiling by police officers is a concern, they may attempt various tactics to incriminate an innocent person.
If it's also other units,
So what? It belongs to everybody. We're paying for
Okay.
it. It doesn't really matter if it belongs to all the units.
That's fine.
Just give me back my ID. Thank you.
Despite Orwell providing his ID, the officers returned to their cruiser and seemingly continued with their actions as they pleased, disregarding the rights and cooperation of Orwell.
turn around and get out of here. And then we'll
As are my hands.
It is currently unknown whether Orwell has filed a complaint or discussed his concerns with anyone at the Westerville PD. Nevertheless, he staunchly defended his rights against the questionable actions of the police officers. This case mirrors the experience of the civil rights attorney who, despite committing no wrongdoing, faced racial profiling from law enforcement officers. State Attorney Miss Ayala, on June 19, 2017, had just concluded teaching a law class at Florida Cultural and Mechanical University. As she was departing in a state-issued vehicle, two police officers pulled her over, despite her not violating any traffic rules.
What agency you with?
I'm the state attorney.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Your tag didn't come back. Never seen that before. I'm sorry? Yeah. We're good now.
So it was.
We ran the tag. I've never seen it before. A Florida tag. It's never come back to anything before. So that's the reason for the stop.
According to one of the officers, he ran her tag, and it wasn't indicated as registered to any vehicle, which seemed strange to him. For clarification, state-issued vehicle plates, like Ayala's, are confidential, so running them won't reveal vehicle details. It's puzzling that this officer wasn't aware of this, raising the attorney's curiosity.
What was the tag run for?
I'm sorry?
What was the tag run for?
Oh, we run tags all the time, whether it's at traffic lights and that sort of stuff. That's how we figure out if, cars are stolen and that sort of thing. Also, the windows are really dark. I don't have a tint measurer, but that's another reason for the stop.
Do you guys have cards on you?
Yeah, 1 second. Actually, this isn't my car, but I can write my name down if you'd like.
The attorney asked for their cards, but they only provided their names. Before driving away without any citation, her calm disposition showed that she'd prefer to uphold the law and order than react in a way that disturbs public peace. Ayala did not file a complaint but instead looked forward to sitting with the police chief regarding how the incident impacted her goal to have a constructive and mutually respectful relationship between law enforcement and the community. If you thought lawyers destroying corrupt cops stops here, that's because you don't know the case of Revel and Garcia, two attorneys who, on February 23 Road, 2017, were walking out of a Blount County courthouse with a client, Lloyd Edwards, when two deputies named Ashworth and Ratliff approached them with a warrant to search their client.
I'm from the sheriff's office.
Take a look at it. Do you have any other weapons on your person at this time that I need to know about? RC?
No, sir.
No,
I do in the car.
Okay. What do you have in the automobile?
A small pistol.
Okay. Your vehicle is also part of this search. Okay. So I'm going to have to ask you, do you have the keys to your automobile?
Yes, sir.
I need the keys to your automobile right now. Okay. Let me pat you down, make sure you don't have any other weapon. Just for your safety and ours. Okay. Just hang tight and we'll get all this resolved.
Mr. Edwards was in court due to an abuse claim by his wife, Jasmine, who said his cell phones had evidence leading to the search warrant. However, after searching Mr. Edwards, they couldn't find what they were looking for.
The warrants that you all have are for his person.
That's correct.
And for his vehicle.
That's correct.
So he is given the phone that's on his person.
Okay, I have video of him handing the phone to you, you handing the phone to her. It's in the satchel right now.
Yeah, you all do have that, but that is not on. When you all
no, I'm out here
him
at the courthouse
to serve
with
this
Brian.
form, that was not on his person. So you all are not entitled to that.
Okay. Well, all right then. We'll go the other route.
Revel explained that since the search warrant only stated Mr. Edwards' person and vehicle to be searched, they had no right to retrieve the phones from Garcia, who had the cell phones in her bag. However, that didn't stop the deputies from getting what they wanted, as they decided to call the district attorney for the next course of action.
Hey, we're standing here and we have it on video that he handed his cell phone to his attorney, one, and they handed it to another, and it's in the satchel that is right here.
Well, are we being detained?
At this moment in time,
they're not denying it. We have it on video.
I'm going to detain you until we determine the next course of action. Give me
Well,
just a minute.
what I have is person and vehicle.
I'm going to turn this off. I don't know what we just done.
Okay. Okay. We either need the phone out of the satchel, or we will have to detain you and get a search warrant to get the phone.
So you're going to okay. Well, we're not going to give you anything that's on our person that you don't have a right to. So if you detain us, you have to have there's certain constitutional safeguards to do that. But if you're going to detain us, then hey, we're not going to run. So and you all are telling us we are being detained. Is that right, Officer Rat?
At this point in time right now, you are being detained. Now, if they determine.
Okay. You both are under arrest for obstructing government operations.
Obstructing government operations.
That's correct.
After Attorney Revel refused to surrender the phone, they were subsequently arrested for obstructing governmental operations, even though he maintained that it was unlawful.
Deputy Ratliff, I want to make sure that you know from our position was that this search warrant, this warrant was given to him he gave us some things for us to use and it hit the fence. And so we did not do anything to keep you all from doing you all's job. Now, if you all want to
I'm out here
this
with
satchel and go
the
through
sheriff's
and do it,
office at the courthouse.
we're not preventing you from
doing a search warrant on the car. And I'm out here just.
From the moment he's entered the courthouse, he's been under surveillance.
Yeah.
Okay? For the reasons of this search warrant. Alright? I'm sitting here and watched you and him and her.
Can't believe we get about 10 or 15 minutes. I'll be ready.
You looked up. Matter of fact, you did look up at the camera 2 or 3 times. He pulled the phone out and handed it to you. You handed it back to him. He was fooling with, I'm guessing, a password. And after a short period of time, he handed it back to you. You handed it to her. She put it in here. Okay? That is evidence for this search warrant.
And you agree with me that you all served this search warrant out subsequent to that, after that, right?
Yeah.
After we left out the building.
Yes.
Even after being put in handcuffs, Revel continued to assert that the warrant was executed after they had already acquired the phones and did not explicitly cover them. After the arrest, attorneys Revel and Garcia initiated legal actions against Deputy Ashworth and Deputy Ratliff and another against District Attorney Casey and Assistant District Attorney Scott Gilliland. In the end, the attorneys were acquitted of all charges because the judge believed that the deputies did not have a lawful right to inspect. If you enjoyed this video, watch this one and don't forget to subscribe. Goodbye.